quantity. So I read first paragraph. Scalar quantity, a quantity that can be completely expressed by its magnitude alone is called a scalar quantity. For example, only magnitude, that is a value with a unit, is used to express quantities such as length, breadth, area, mass, temperature, density, then time, then work, etc. Thus, we say that the length of a tunnel is 2 kilometers. The fever means temperature is 101 degree Fahrenheit, etc. So student, scalar quantity means, the meaning of scalar quantity, the quantity which is completely expressed by its magnitude or completely mention its magnitude. Okay, that is called as a scalar quantity. Means in all example like length, then temperature, density, breadth, direction is not mentioned. It is not required. Means scalar quantity means the quantity that describes the magnitude. There is no need of direction. It is called as a scalar quantity. Okay student, now we will see the vector quantity. Now student, vector quantity, the quantity that is expressed completely only when magnitude and direction are both given is called a vector quantity. Displacement, velocity are vector quantities. For example, a displacement of 20 km towards the north, the aeroplane flying at a velocity of 500 km per hour towards Mumbai. So student, velocity, vector quantity. Vector quantity means, what is mean of vector quantity? The quantity that is expressed completely only when magnitude and direction are both given, it is called as a vector quantity. Means for expressing a vector quantity we require magnitude as well as direction. So student, example given here, displacement. Displacement, velocity are the vector quantities. So what is meaning of displacement? Displacement means motion of an object from one place to another place in a specific direction. It is called as a displacement. Again listen, displacement means motion of an object from one place to another place in specific direction is called as a displacement. And velocity, in this also velocity, also direction consider. Okay student, you understood about the scalar quantity and vector quantity. Now we will see next point. So student, use your brain power. In that, first question is, why would the weight of an object be maximum at the poles and minimum at the equator? So student, the reason behind it, as I explained, the distance between the center of the earth and the poles, it is less at the poles and gravitational force is greater. So the weight of the object is maximum, and at the equator the gravitational force is minimum. That's why weight of the object is also minimum. You understood student? Now second question. Why is the weight of an object at a high altitude less than its weight at a sea level? So student, listen carefully. I will tell you the answer of this question. If we measure our weight at the sea level, suppose it is 70 kg, and the same object if we measure at a height, means at a height, what will we get, means high altitude, means when we go much upper distance from the sea level, what we get, the weight of the object is less. The reason is at the sea level the gravitational force is maximum, and as we go to the higher altitude, means as we go at height, the gravitational force goes on decreasing and weight also goes on decreasing. You understood, student? Okay. Now student, see the next line. Will it be possible to use one and the same unit to measure physical quantities such as mass, weight, distance, velocity, temperature? No, not possible. It is not possible. For distance, the units are different. For mass, for velocity and temperature. Means for different physical quantities, different units were used. Now next line. In everyday affairs, we measure many different physical quantities. As these physical quantities are different from each other, a specific unit is used to measure each quantity. Means specific unit is used to measure the specific quantity. Therefore, different units are used while measuring the different quantities. You understood, student? Okay. Suppose I explain this by using example. Okay. Suppose you bought a milk, then its volume is measured in liter. If you want vegetables, then it is measured in kilograms or grams. Now you understood, means different quantities have different unit. It is not possible to measure different quantities by using the same unit. Okay student, now we will see the next point, standardized measurement. So in this standardized measurement, you have given two activities. Okay, I will read first. Okay, take a ball of a string. Let one student from the class measure 4-hand span of the string and cut it there. Let each of the other student in the class cut 4-hand span of the string too. Now hold all the pieces together by one end. Are they all of the same length? Never. The length of all never the same. Means all students' hand span is different for different means different students have different hand span. That's why the length of all never be same. Okay. Now second activity is, now measure the length of the bench by means of the span of your hand. Ask your friend to do the same. Did each of you obtain the same measure for that bench? What could be the reason? Now here you have to measure your bench by using your hand span, means like this. Suppose this is your hand span, like this. So different students have different hand span. That's why measurement of each student will be different. You understood, student? Now next point is, next paragraph. Standardized measures are required for measuring things such measures are called as standard unit. This is the very important. Listen again. Standardized measures are required for measuring the things, and such measures are called as standard unit. You understood, student? What is the meaning of standard unit? Now we have to measure many physical quantities accurately. To measure any quantity, we use the unit specified for it. Means to measure the length, we use the unit meter. To measure the weight, we use the unit kilograms, like this. To measure the volume of a liquid, we can use the liter unit, like this. Means different quantities have different unit. For example, the meter, means the symbol of meter is small m, is the specified unit for measuring length. A certain distance has been accepted as the standard for 1.0 meter, means 1 meter. Why is there a need for such a standard unit? Suppose the span of a hand is accepted as the unit for measuring length. With this unit, we can measure length of a cloth as 2 hand span, 3 hand span, and so on. However, the length of the cloths measured by each one of us will come out to be different. Why? Because the different persons have different hand span. That's why when we use this such a kind of measurement, means hand span, we get the different measurement. That is why a hand span cannot be standard unit for measuring the length. You understood, student, up to here? Now means different quantities have different unit, and we see the standardized measurement. So which standardized measurement means what? The standardized measured which are the final by the government at a national level and international level, means they are called as a standardized measurement. Suppose 1 kg, it is same in every country. Okay, student, you understood up to here? Okay, student, now here some points are given. Prevailing system of measurement. So two systems are given here. We will see one by one. First one is MKS system. So this M stands for meter, K stands for kilogram, and S stands for second. So this is the MKS system. In this system, distance is measured in meter, mass in kilograms, and time in a second. So it is called as a MKS system. Again listen, distance measured in a meter, mass measured in a kilogram, and time measured in a second. That's why it is a MKS system of unit. Second system is given CGS system. In this system, centimeter, gram, and second, means centimeter, C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, and S stands for second. So this is the CGS system. So in this system, distance is measured in centimeter, mass in grams, and time in a second. That's why it is called as a CGS system. In the MKS system of measurement, distance, mass, and time are accepted as the fundamental quantities, and these three quantities are used to measure all other quantities, means time, distance, and mass are the three quantities that are accepted as a fundamental quantities. Why? Because by using these quantity these quantity are used to measure the other quantities. So here one table is given. So we will see that table. So students, are you able to see this table? 3 columns are made here. In first column, here is a physical quantity. In second column, here is MKS system. And in third column, there is CGS system. So physical quantity, suppose first we take mass. That mass in MKS system, mass is measured in kilogram, and in CGS system it is measured in gram. You understood? Mass in MKS system it is measured in kilogram. This K stand for kilogram. Then in CGS system this mass is measured in gram, and this G stand for this gram. Now distance. For distance, this distance in MKS system, this distance is measured in meter. Again listen, in MKS system, this distance is measured in meter. Means this M stand for meter. Again, in CGS system, this distance is measured in centimeter. This distance is measured in centimeter. Means this C stand for centimeter. Now, for the time. In MKS system, this time is measured in second, means S stand for second, and in CGS system also, this time is measured in second. Means in MKS system and in both the system, means CGS system and MKS system, time is measured in a same unit. Now the last one is speed. That speed in MKS system, speed is measured in kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour, and in CGS system of unit this time is speed is measured in meter per second. Meter per second. You understood? Me centimeter per second, and here kilometer per or meter per second, meter per hour. Okay student, you understood up to here? Okay, in next lecture we will continue the lesson, means next topic of this lesson. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.